flirting with the idea of getting into Arab fragrances for months now, and I've been putting it off because I don't like oud, I don't like spice, and I don't like to waste my money. But I finally took the plunge. I did it. I placed not one, not two, not I placed way too many orders, don't judge me. But the fragrances showed up. I've been testing them out, wearing them for a few days now, and I want to report back. I made some great choices. I mean, not everything is exactly my style, but I'll tell you what they smell like, what they give, and if they're worth your money, my money, anybody's money. So let's get into it. Hi, I'm Janique, and today I have an Arabian Perfume haul for you. And I'm excited to share what I got because they rocked my world. Now, I was ready to be disappointed, to be let down, to be underwhelmed, but what I wasn't ready for, to have my whole world rocked, to be completely converted. I have some fragrances in here that were way better than I expected. Yes, there were a few disappointments, but you know what? You can't win them all. But I won most of them, so I'm excited about it. And I think you need to know everything that I got.
Looks like I lost my favorite times.
The first fragrance I want to get into deserves a bit of an apology from me. So I unboxed all of these on my TikTok, Janique Loves, and my reaction to this one was that it was a non-motherfucking fact. I know, a little disrespectful. It is Alhambra's Very Velvet Rouge. I take it back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's get into what this gives. Firstly, it cost me $31. I bought it on Perfume Online. Just a little bit of background there. And it's supposed to be an orchid fragrance that has clementine and green apples in the opening and vanilla and musk in the base. Now, all that sounded really nice to me. I thought juicy, tart, fruity, and a little bit of a fresh floral. It'll all come together and be wonderful. Now, I was nervous because this doesn't have a Fragrantica page. There were no reviews on it. There was no hype around it. I did not know what I was getting into. This was really, really a blind buy for me. And I was just going off of the notes. And when I first tried, I thought, I don't really smell much of anything. Like it's fresh, right? But it doesn't really project. It doesn't have much personality to it. Everything is so restrained in this. Like, what's the point? What is the point of you? That is what I was saying to myself. What is the point of you? I take it back. I've worn this 2 or 3 times now, 2.5 times now, and my reaction after having worn it is that I get the point. No, this is not the kind of fragrance that I would pick up myself if I were to test it in person. It is very laid back. It's a very fresh, everyday fragrance that doesn't project a ton, but that seems to be the point. Now, it has this very realistic clementine and apple smell, as if you were to cut into an apple, the smell you would get, right? Now, you wouldn't expect that if you were to cut into an apple, the person across the room would smell that you just cut into an apple. You would expect that you'd be able to smell it and that would be it. And that's what you're getting from this kind of realistic fresh fruit smell, so that if somebody were smelling you, they would have to debate whether you were just eating fruit, you were just working with fruit in a kitchen, you were just in an orchard, I don't know, but it doesn't necessarily read as a fruity perfume. You don't really get much orchid. You get a little bit of green freshness, but it's mostly just clementine and apple. It just smells like fresh fruit in a bowl. As it dries down, it gets a little bit like fruit sorbet. There's like a coolness to it. So it's not very loud. However, the performance is great. Now, I tested this at the same time as I tested the next fragrance, Fakar. That is a lot bolder, more in your face. Fakar was gone in like 2 to 3 hours. Let me just be straight with you. I'll talk a little bit more about that. But this stayed on my skin till night. I was like, excuse me? Did not expect that. I figured I'd have to top this up at some point, and I didn't have to do that, which was a really pleasant surprise for me. So where would I wear this? Okay, I'm in a hot car. I'm on a vacation in with friends. I'm driving out to the country, and the people around me have sensitive noses. You can wear this. You just smell like a fruit bowl or a fruit sorbet, and it's really subtle and it stays close enough to your skin that you get to experience it. You smell it. You don't get nose blind to it, because I smelled it the whole day, but it doesn't really project, and the other people around you can't really smell it. So this is what I recommend to my friend Elena because she doesn't really like perfumes like that. She hates to feel like she's bothering other people with her fragrances. So when she's wearing perfume, she doesn't want to like inconvenience other people. So she tends to wear only skin scents. This is something I'd recommend to her because it is not too avant-garde with like heavy woods or whatever. what you're getting is a really familiar fruit smell that stays close to your skin, really blends in nicely. The vanilla smooth things out so it isn't super tart and sharp on the skin. It's nice, it's pleasant, and it cost me $31. So I'm gonna get use out of this, especially on hot summer days. I wonder how it will perform in hot summer days. I'm excited to wear this, and I take it back. It's not a non-motherfucking factor, it's a factor. It's an absolutely wonderful factor. Next fragrance I want to talk to you about was not on my wish list. It wasn't. It was a impulsive purchase in the moment as I was checking out. It was the last thing added to my cart. I'm not saying I regret it, but a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just like, I should have done my due diligence on this one. It is Fakar Rose from Lattafa, but look at that bottle. I'm gonna enjoy having this on my dresser. I really am. This is beautiful. But apparently it is a dupe for Givenchy's Laundry. I did not realize that. I literally saw it on TikTok last night when someone was like, if you love this, this is a dupe. I was like, go figure. Now here's the thing. I've tried Laundry once and I tried it and thought, okay, this is nice, but I prefer the Rouge version, right? Like I didn't have it, it didn't get added to my wish list after trying it in store that one time. And I guess I didn't leave with a memory enough of it so that when I tried this, I realized it was a dupe. I didn't know it was a dupe. I did not realize that. Now here's the thing. If you look up the notes on Fragrantica, it has every floral. Jasmine, tuberose, gardenia, lily, rose, peony. It has everything. It has everything. Powdery notes, fruit notes, everything. But really what you're getting in this is rose, powdery, a lot of powderiness, so much powderiness. You get the peony coming through, especially as a textural element, and you get a bit of musk and wood in the dry down. The fruit in here isn't super distinguishable, but I would say you have pear in here. You may have some orchard fruit like peaches. It's pretty. The powderiness is a little heavy for me. It's a little overboard for me. So it's not the thing that I would have picked up had I realized what I was getting. If they had said to me, this is a dupe of Laundry, I'd be like, I don't remember what it smells like, but I remember I wasn't in love with it when I tried it. I just thought it was nice. But if you do love Laundry from Givenchy, then this is a wonderful way to go, a $26 way to go, except for the fact that the performance on this is trash. It is trash. It maybe lasted 3 hours, maybe less. It was shocking how quickly it disappeared. I sprayed myself down. I oversprayed and it was gone in no time. Like this 100 ml, if I was like in love with this fragrance, would be gone very quickly because you would need to top up multiple times a day just to get it to do what it needs to do. Now, I did try this on clothing and on skin, and I tend to put my perfume on before I put my clothes on. With this one, that's not an option. It performs better on clothing, maybe 6 hours. On skin, it's 2 to 3. Now, for $26, I think that's acceptable. Like, I think that's the bar is set real low at $26 in terms of performance. Like, and I'm not expecting magic. I'm expecting, say, the original to do better at that price point. Like, the original is in the $150 range. But I don't know if this is quite my style. The powderiness is a little bit intense. The rose in here is a little mature. I think the powderiness plus the like haziness that you get from peony together, for me, is a little dreamlike. It's a little not crisp and bright enough. It's just a little cloudy. I don't know if that makes sense in terms of like a picture for you. But I will enjoy wearing this occasionally. If I have like a daytime brunch and it requires something super soft and feminine, I think this would be cute, especially if I'm only going out for 2 to 3 hours, and this is perfect. But if I need something to actually perform, then no. Now, I'm wondering if this would do better in warmer weather, so I will try this as summer comes along. But there's something about heavy powder in summer that also doesn't feel right to me. So I'm not sure where I stand with this one. Is it a failed blind buy? Not exactly, but it's also not a win for me. Next up, we have a fragrance I almost didn't pick up because I thought that is too like your style. That is too in your wheelhouse. You have things that smell like this. Go outside of the box. The outside of the box is overrated. Sometimes you want to be inside the box. Here we go. It is La Fleur Bouquet from Afnan. Look at this guy. No, the Afnan whole aesthetic with all of their bottles and the packaging, no one rivals them as far as like what I ordered. Everything feels like such fantastic quality. The bottles are real glass. There's metal. It is beautiful. Now here's the thing, it costs more. This cost me $46, which is more expensive than some of what the other houses are charging for their fragrances. The only thing that usually like ends up in this level of pricing are the dupes. So I'm gonna put that out there. But do I think this was worth it? Absolutely. Now, what does this smell like? This is texturally a very light floral. So you know how sometimes tuberose can be really thick and heavy on the skin, or lily can feel kind of waxy, or jasmine very green. This feels almost like the champagne of floral. Like there's something very like light and bubbly and airy and easygoing about it. And then there is this really nice orchard sweetness, some lychees, some peaches, some pear. Woo! If you love a sweet, fresh floral that is perfect for summer, this is it. I present you with La Fleur Bouquet. Now here's the thing, it has a floral in this that is terribly underrated, Petalia. Now Petalia, I love me some Petalia. Now if I would describe Petalia to somebody, it's like gardenia without the indolic element. It's fresher without the greenness of things like jasmine. So it like straddles this middle ground of being like light and fresh without the greenness, the over sweetness. This is nice. There's a little bit of like a candy element in this, right? Like the sweetness, especially in the opening, is so pronounced. You're like, is this fruit sweetness or is this candy sweetness? I don't mind. I'll take it. But once it dries down, you get this more fresh sweetness. Like it sort of smells like strawberries. Like I understand it's like bergamot, lychee, peach together, but it kind of smells like a strawberry and Petalia fragrance with a little bit of champagne in it. It's winner. So this fragrance has been on everybody's list. People have been talking about her, trying to get their hands on her. It's been out of stock nonstop, and I managed to get one. It is Lattafa's Yara. I pulled the trigger, I picked it up, and like I'd mentioned in my wish list video, there's been a bit of contention about Yara being a good one or not. Now some people describe this as strawberry milkshake, strawberry angel cake. It's a very strawberry gourmand fragrance. Now I looked up the notes don't make sense to me. Talk about tropical fruit, I don't know what you're talking about. Is strawberry a tropical fruit? I don't know. Anyway, I will say there is a very strong lactonic element to this, and the strawberry is very pronounced, but it's not the strawberry you might expect. It's the strawberry flavoring you put in stuff, or strawberry that you'd get outside of like the inside of a donut. No tartness to it. It's just this really sort of syrupy sweet strawberry mixed in with milk. Now here's the thing, I don't know how I feel about her. I am on the fence and not on the fence at the same time. I think I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this one. I think I'm going to really be able to enjoy it, and there is nothing in my collection that smells like this. But for me to get the biggest bang for my buck for this fragrance, I will have to layer this one. I cannot wear it on its own. It is piercingly sweet. Now, if you love a super sweet strawberry smell like strawberry syrup, or you know what I mean, the strawberry you put into like your milkshake or on top of ice cream or something, then you are going to love that. For me, I want a bit of bite and tartness to accompany sweet elements in a fragrance for me, and there is no tartness. It is soft, sweet strawberryness mixed in with milk. Now that's where I think the real winner is. Now here's the thing, I don't have a lot of lactonic fragrances. I have creamy ones that come from like coconut or almond or tonka bean or whatever. But a straight milky smell is not something I find very often in like such a pure form. No, there's a bit of powderiness that kind of adds to the milkiness. It kind of gives like a powder milk kind of smell. No, that's not for everybody. And I've heard that on some people it kind of turns on their skin. It kind of smells like ricotta cheese or spoiled milk. But on me, I think it really blends in. So I think this would be a fantastic foundation or a base for something else that would be elevated by some lactonic notes. Now, the problem with this is because the strawberry is so sweet, it would be hard to add like caramel on top of it or anything. Like I think what I would need to add to layer to this to make it really work is something with like coffee or dark chocolate or a very, very strong, sharp tonka essence about it. I think something like that would really elevate this and make it really special. I plan to layer it and try it with something like Angel Share to see if adding a lactonic element to that Gourmand fragrance would even, you know, give it a little kick or make it even more interesting or just give it a different style. I'm not sure. So I don't know how I feel. I'd say on its own, I wouldn't wear it by itself. I think it's too sweet on me. I think it reads like I'm 16 in a bedroom full of like pink teddy bears. Like it feels really, really young on me. And I want to cut it with something sharper, darker, and richer. So something like coffee or chocolate to get it to take advantage of all of that creamy, milky wonderfulness and that little bit of sweetness from the strawberry. I think would be really nice in something like that. But I have to play with it to get it to perform and do what I want it to do for me. So I'll report back if like I get it to be perfect and I get it to, I find the right accompaniment for this. I will let you know. But I'm curious to see what I can get out of this one. Just right now, I'm not so sure. Also, the price on this was about $26 for a trending fragrance. They haven't hiked up the price and I love to see that. Next one was an impulse purchase. I don't know why I do it. I do all of this planning. I have like my list. Everything has been checked and verified multiple times, and then I pick up Nora from Swiss Arabian randomly because it's so tiny and cute. Look at it. It's like 20 something dollars. It's a perfume oil. I don't own any perfume oils, or I didn't before this order. Look at that. Oh, it's just, I just love how they go on. I love how they layer on. It's really nice. Anyway, I bought this because it said it had orange, honey, sandalwood, saffron, all of this goodness. I was excited about it, and then I tried it and it doesn't smell like you think it smells. It smells like woods. It smells like woods. It smells like dark deep woods. It doesn't smell like sandalwood at all. That creaminess, that lightness you get from sandalwood is not here. This smells like a heavy dark wood. Are you ebony? Are you? Because I don't understand what it's trying to say that it is. It's not sandalwood. Anyway, the honey that's in here is more for a textural element. Like the woods, if you like woodiness, and you might, is smoothed out by the honey, and you get this hint of the honey in the back. You know what it's like? You know, like when you get really dark, heavy, rich black coffee and you put like a teaspoon of honey in it. It might not do anything for the sweetness because it's so overwhelmed by that dark, rich coffee, but it might change the texture of it, just smooth everything out to make it go down a little bit easier. That's what it gives, as if you have very heavy, dark coffee with a tops. It's a little bit of honey in it. That's like that. It's like very heavy dark wood with a little bit of honey. When it dries down though, the honey comes through a lot more. It's a lot more balanced, right? Like you get like half woods, half honey, but it's never really a honey forward fragrance. And over time, I'm not mad at it, right? Because I don't have a lot of just straight woods out here. I love florals, right? But I think this might act as a really nice base. No, for a lot of the bases, if I want to add base to a fragrance, I'll use something like Musk 12 from KL that I have in my, my collection. And that acts like a good foundation if I want to add a little bit more oomph to a floral fragrance. I think this will do the same thing. For example, I have a few honey and caramel fragrances that I think over top of this are gonna be a whole vibe. So I was a little salty in the beginning. I paid like $25 for this tiny little bit of oil, and so I was a little mad at myself for being so impulsive. But now that I layered only one over top of this, that's a caramel fragrance, and I was like, ah, that's nice. That is nice. And I have a few honey fragrances that I also want to pair with it. And I think it'll be fun. You know what I think will be real nice with it? Leali Vanilla 28. Like, I think is gonna be really nice on top of this. So yeah, sad about the impulsiveness, excited about having something completely different in my collection that I wouldn't have picked out if I knew what it smelled like and had I done my actual research. So there's that. So if you're looking for something woody with a little bit of honey, then maybe this is it. I don't know. You see what I said about Afnan and the bottles? Look at that. Afnan knows how to bottle something. This is really heavy, substantial, beautifully packaged. So what is Rare Tiffany? First of all, I paid $33 for it. So like I said, Afnan fragrances tend to run a little bit more than Lattafa, just FYI, but the packaging is more stunning. This is a yellow and rose floral. For the most part, especially before you get to the mid, you get a lot of yellow florals. Now, yellow florals aren't for everybody. I enjoy them. They aren't a love for me, but they're a heavy like. And I'm mixing it with rose, I think, is really nice. And it's not a clean, crisp, green, young rose. It's like a middle of the road. It's a middle-aged rose, right? It's not a mature rose. It's something in the middle where it has some of those like very distinctive rosiness to it without going overboard, and it's balanced really nicely in this. It is very fresh, crisp, bright, summery. It's very effervescent and fun. There is fresh fruit in here, citruses. So this is the kind of fragrance you would wear if you want to smell clean. You just got out of the shower, you have a hot day ahead, you want something really sparkly, bright, citrusy, clean smelling. This is a fantastic option. The performance on this was really, really good. I got about 6 hours out of it, and I think this is not a fragrance that's my style necessarily. Like, I do have Volupté from Oscar de la Renta, which is another yellow floral that is a lot greener than this. This is a lot lighter, fresher, soapier, and smoother than Volupté. So if you find that Volupté is a little bit too yellow floral, it's too in your face, it's too odd in a lot of ways because you don't love yellow florals, this performs a lot better. Now, the thing I was worried about in this wasn't the yellow floral, was the it and rose together. Like, I wasn't sure if these two notes that sometimes don't work individually for me would come together in a way that was too overwhelming. But everything has a really light hand in this. It's really fresh and it's just really pretty. So if you like those greener, fresher florals, these things that smell more citrusy and easygoing, everyday wear kind of fragrances that kind of smell like shampoo or, you know, bath soap, then this is a good one. And I think it's peak height of summer kind of fragrance, and I'm excited to have this one because I don't really have a lot of fragrances that smell like this. Now, there are a few fragrances here that were very much my style, right? Like, I got into them, I enjoyed them, they were wonderful, and they were in keeping with the kind of fragrances I collect off rip. But there was one fragrance in this bunch that was the most like me. The one I knew based on the notes alone were going to hit all the marks, and if it didn't, I'd cry about it. I'd be disappointed. I'd be mad about it. I'd feel bamboozled. Is this one. Look at her. It's Wash Washa from Lattafa. Now, in my wishlist video, I mentioned that it was #1 on my wishlist because it was supposed to give, and you know what it gave? It is everything I hoped for and then some. No, if you've watched a couple of my videos so far, you know I love tuberose. It is the best floral. It's objectively so good and I love it so much. And this is tuberose. There are other things in here we don't care. There's tuberose. There's also pink pepper, bitter orange. You know how I feel about bitter orange. Bitter orange is so good. That bitterness, that sharpness, that tartness, we love it. There is raspberry for juiciness. We got amber. We got benzoin. We got vanilla. We got tonka bean. We got musk. We got all the body. Like, this is fall, cool outside, heavy, beautiful white floral if you're a white floral girly like I am. This is just about perfect. I don't know what else I would want to have. Like, every fragrance I try, I'm a little bit salty and I'm like, well, if it could have less powderiness, or if it could have more airiness, or if it could have more citrus. This, I would do nothing differently. This is a beautiful, scrumptious, delicious tuberose fragrance that costs $30 for 100 mils. And I am so happy with this one. I would love a backup bottle or two, because this one's going to stay in my collection. This is going to stay because this is the most like me out of everything that I bought. It's lovely. You're going to see this bottle and it's going to rock your world because it is beautiful. Look at this. Look at it. Isn't this stunning? This is so beautiful. Now, this was a last minute ad. It wasn't an impulsive buy. Like, I went in planning to do it. But the day I went shopping, a TikTok friend of mine recommended I get this, and she tends to have a very similar taste in fragrances that I do, and she said you would love this. It's Swiss Arabian Leali Rouge. Now, this is supposed to be a tropical fragrance, right? It is a perfume oil with everything from mango, papaya, and pineapple. That's it. That's really what you're getting. It smells like fruit punch. That's it. It smells like fruit punch, but in oil version and oil form. I don't know who would dislike this. I don't know who would hate on this. Now, it doesn't have much tartness or any of that like bite that pineapple tends to have. So it kind of borders on tropical fruit to like tropical fruit drink. That sort of in-between space there where it doesn't smell too synthetic, but because there's no bitterness and there's no tartness that you'd normally get from things like pineapple, you're like, it's bordering on like a fruit drink kind of smell, but it is so comforting and delicious and so fruity gourmand. It is insane. It doesn't really smell like perfume. It smells like a fruit drink. Like, that's what it's giving. There is hibiscus in this. It's supposed to be offering a bit of bright freshness that you get in the dry down. Like, in the dry down, it gets a lot brighter and fresher, but for the most part, when you're wearing this, you just smell like a snack. A fruit snack, a delicious tropical fruit snack, and I don't know what you can hate about that. This is a whole vibe. The last fragrance on this list is the Dada of all of these fragrances, the one that probably inspired this entire order because people have been talking about this one for months now, and it is Camra from Lattafa. Is it worth the hype? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, it does not smell like Kilian's Angel Share. I think people who say that, like, they see the similarities, but it's definitely not the same thing. It is a lot softer and sweeter and cozier, in my opinion. I've done reviews of Angel Share, and I've mentioned that it sort of smells like Christmas because of how some of the sharp spices in there present. This is a lot creamier. It smells a lot more like lactonic and homey and wonderful. Now, some of the things that we love about this, right? We love the vanilla, the tonka bean. There is tuberose in here. We have some beautiful citrus notes, dates, praline, just really wonderful gourmand elements that are so delicious smelling. It just smells like a bakery. Like, it's beautiful, but it also had these really pronounced spicy elements that I was scared of. So it had things like myrrh specifically, which I don't tend to buy fragrances with myrrh in it. It had really dark woods, not quite oud, but close, and I wasn't sure what I would be getting, but everything is so beautifully balanced. Everything is mixed so nicely. It's so thick, it's so heavy, it's so resinous, it sits so nicely on your skin. I don't know what to say. This is not my usual style. This is not what I would normally go for, but everything about this is so beautiful. Thanks so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. I loved hauling these fragrances and adding them to my collection. What's not to love, basically. If you enjoyed this video, check out my last one on our fragrances where I go through all of my wish list fragrances and why I was picking the ones that I did. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell button so my next video on all the dupes that I picked up won't miss you. You will be around for that one. Now, down in the comment section, let me know which of these you would get, you have, you want. Let me know all the things. Let's have a conversation. I'm ready to get into it. Again, I'm Janique. I overspend on fragrances, obviously, and I'm not ashamed of it.
See, you've been on the mind. I've been seeing great